Amazon is the most valuable retailer on earth. It delivers millions of packages every single day, powers a huge chunk of the entire internet, and has made Jeff Bezos one of the richest humans who has ever lived. Most people see Amazon as a convenience, a magical service that brings anything you want to your door in 24 hours. But behind that convenience is a much darker story, a story of crushed competition, exploited workers, and a business model deliberately designed to destroy everything in its path. This is the dark side of Amazon. Chapter 1. The Everything Store. Trap. When Amazon launched in 1995, it was just an online bookstore, simple, harmless, useful. But Jeff Bezos had never intended it to stay that way. From the very beginning, Bezos had one vision: to build what he called the Everything Store, a single platform where anyone could buy anything at any time. To achieve this, Amazon did something that confused Wall Street for years. It made almost no profit. Every single dollar Amazon earned was immediately reinvested into growth. Lower prices, faster delivery, bigger warehouses. Amazon was willing to lose money for years just to gain customers and crush competitors. And it worked. One by one, entire industries collapsed. Bookstores disappeared, music stores vanished, electronics retailers went bankrupt, toy stores shut down. Bezos had a secret internal program nicknamed the Gazelle Project, where Amazon specifically targeted small book publishers the same way a cheetah targets a sick gazelle, deliberately hunting the weakest ones first to force better terms. That name alone tells you everything about how Amazon viewed its competition. Chapter 2. Eating its own sellers. Here is where Amazon's business model gets truly dark. At some point, Amazon realized it could not stock everything itself, so it opened its platform to third-party sellers, independent businesses that could sell their products directly on Amazon's website. Today, over half of all products sold on Amazon come from these third-party sellers. Millions of small businesses depend entirely on Amazon to reach customers. But Amazon is not just their partner, Amazon is also their landlord, their judge, and their most dangerous competitor. Here is how it works. A small business builds a product, lists it on Amazon, and slowly grows its sales. Amazon watches. Its algorithm tracks everything. Which products are selling, at what price, with what profit margin. And when Amazon spots a winner, it quietly launches its own version under one of its private label brands and places it directly above the original seller in search results. The original seller, who unknowingly gave Amazon all their sales data, suddenly finds themselves buried and replaced by the very platform they trusted. Multiple investigations and lawsuits have confirmed this practice. Amazon has repeatedly denied it, but the pattern keeps appearing everywhere you look. And it does not stop there. Amazon controls what appears in search results, decides which sellers get the buy box, the button customers actually click to purchase, and can suspend any seller's account without warning, instantly destroying businesses that took years to build. Sellers have no real appeal process, no phone number to call, no human to speak to. Amazon is the law on its own platform, and there is no higher court. Chapter 3. The Warehouse Floor. Step inside one of Amazon's fulfillment centers, and you enter a world that looks efficient from the outside, but feels brutal from the inside. Amazon warehouses are enormous, some larger than 30 football fields, and they operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Workers are given handheld scanners that track their every movement, every item picked, every second spent walking. Every bathroom break is monitored and measured against a rate, a quota that workers must hit to keep their jobs. Miss your rate too many times and you are automatically flagged by the system. Miss it enough and the system automatically generates your termination notice. Not a manager, not a human. An algorithm fires you. Investigative journalists and former workers have described conditions that are extraordinarily demanding. Injury rates at Amazon warehouses are significantly higher than the industry average. Workers have described being too afraid to take bathroom breaks in case it affects their rate, resorting to using bottles or bags rather than losing precious seconds. During peak seasons like Black Friday and Christmas, the pace becomes almost unbearable. Amazon pays above minimum wage and offers benefits, which it uses to defend its practices publicly. but workers and labour organisers argue that the physical and psychological toll of the job makes those wages feel inadequate. In 2022, workers at an Amazon warehouse in Staten Island made history by forming the first ever Amazon union in the United States, a direct response to years of frustration with exactly these conditions. Chapter 4. AWS, the hidden empire. Most people think of Amazon as a retailer, but Amazon's most profitable business has nothing to do with packages or products. It is Amazon Web Services, AWS, the cloud computing division that quietly powers a massive portion of the entire internet. Netflix runs on AWS, Airbnb runs on AWS, the US government runs on AWS. Countless banks, hospitals, universities and startups all depend on Amazon's servers to function. AWS generates more profit than all of Amazon's retail operations combined. It is essentially a utility that the modern world cannot function without, and that creates a deeply uncomfortable situation. Amazon is both the infrastructure provider and a direct competitor to many of the companies running on that infrastructure. Netflix competes with Amazon Prime Video while running on Amazon servers. Countless retail startups compete with Amazon Store while using Amazon's cloud. Amazon has unique visibility into the operations of its own competitors in ways that have never existed before in business history. Regulators around the world have begun to notice. The European Union has launched major investigations into Amazon's practices. The US Congress has grilled Amazon executives about anti-competitive behaviour. But Amazon's legal teams are among the most powerful in the world, and these battles have moved slowly. Chapter 5. The price of free delivery. When you order something on Amazon and it arrives the next day for free, it feels like magic. But that magic has a price, and somebody else is paying it. Amazon has used its size and logistics dominance to squeeze suppliers into offering lower and lower prices. Brands that depend on Amazon for a large portion of their sales have very little negotiating power. Amazon can threaten to reduce a product's visibility in search results, remove it from recommendation algorithms, or simply stop stocking it altogether. Faced with these threats, many suppliers have accepted terms that leave them with almost no margin. Small towns across America and beyond have watched their local retail ecosystems collapse as Amazon expanded. Bookshops, toy stores, hardware stores, clothing boutiques, all unable to compete with a platform that can undercut their prices and deliver faster than they ever could. The convenience that consumers love has come at the direct cost of local economies, local jobs, and the kind of community retail that wants to find town centres. And then there is the environmental cost. The explosion of packaging waste generated by Amazon's billions of annual shipments is staggering. The carbon footprint of last-mile delivery, those individual vans driving to individual houses, is enormous. Amazon has made commitments to sustainability and invested in electric delivery vehicles. Chapter 6. Too big to stop. Amazon today is not just a company, it is infrastructure. It is a logistics network. It is a media company. It is an advertising platform. It is a grocery chain. It is a pharmacy. It is a bank-like service for small businesses. It is the cloud that runs the internet. And it is still growing. Jeff Bezos once said that Amazon's success required being misunderstood for long periods of time. And for years, people misunderstood it as simply a helpful bookstore, then a useful shop, then a convenient delivery service. By the time the world began to understand what Amazon was truly building, it had already become too deeply embedded in daily life to easily remove. Regulators face an almost impossible challenge. Breaking up Amazon is enormously complicated when its different businesses are so deeply intertwined. Protecting workers requires taking on one of the most legally resourced companies on earth. And consumers, who genuinely benefit from low prices and fast delivery, are difficult to mobilize against a service they love using every single day. Amazon built its empire by being cheaper, faster, and more convenient than anyone else. But the true cost of that convenience, paid by workers, by small businesses, by local communities, and by competitors, is a price that never appears on any receipt. The Everything Store has everything, except accountability.